Welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa. Get your education booklet in our daily newspaper, street sales, or at your school every Monday to Thursday for pre-primary up until grade 3. The lessons are for listening or watching online. Inside the newspapers, there is an insert of the lesson booklet. Please cut the top of the lesson booklet with a pair of scissors and fold it for ready to use. But there is more. We are also available on our online platforms, MyZone and Zoshi Facebook pages, and in addition, our website, Zoshi Online. Hello everyone and welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa and thank you so much for joining me today. Our theme this week is being safe. And before we get into any lessons, boys and girls, we know that we need to sanitize. So let's take our sanitizer and we rub inside our hands, around our hands, in between our fingers, on our wrists, and our fingertips too. Make sure your hands are dry before you touch anything else. For today's lesson, we will be doing comparing numbers, reading comprehension, and irregular verbs. For our lesson now, boys and girls, let's all turn to page 6. On page 6, we are going to be comparing numbers. Now it's going to be our job to circle the correct number and then to fill it in. Remember, if the arrow is facing one way, away from the number, that means it is smaller than. And if the number is facing directly at the number, it means bigger than. But if we have an equal sign, then that means equal to. So we're going to do A and E together. Let's take a look at the board. Now, the one that we're going to do with A, we need to first remember our signs. So we said that if it is facing away from the number, that means it is smaller than. And then if it is facing or equal to, we have our equal sign. After that, if it is bigger than, then it will eat the number. To help you, let's say that this is a hungry crocodile and it only eats big numbers. So if we have our sign facing a certain way, then we'll be able to know which number to put. Now the numbers below are the ones that we're going to have to choose by circling first and then writing in the box. So we're going to start with A. A says 33, and then we have our sign facing the number, and then we have a box. Now remember, we said we're going to pretend that this was a hungry crocodile and it only eats the bigger number. So we can see that it is opening its mouth to eat 33, which means that 33 in this case is the bigger number. So below, we need to find a number that is smaller than 33. If we say 89 is smaller, that's not correct. Because remember, it starts with an 8 for the tens. So that means that it is bigger. Then if we say 35, that's also not correct. Because remember, 33 is actually smaller than 35. So, if it's going to be eating 33, then this is actually the bigger number, which means that our answer is 29. So we definitely know that 3 is bigger than 2, which means that our answer is 29. So we're going to circle our 29 and then we're going to write our 29. Now we have said that 33 is bigger than 29. Remember our little trick to say that this hungry crocodile only eats the big numbers. Let's now try the next one. Now the next one that we have is 72. And then this time, our hungry crocodile is actually eating our missing number, which means that 72 is the smaller number here. So, we need to find a number that is bigger than 72. We can't say 64 because if we compare the tens, 7 is bigger than 6. So, this is not correct because 64 is smaller. Let's try 70. Now we know that this is the same tens family, but if you look at the units, you know that 2 is bigger than 0. And again, it can't be our answer because our crocodile wants to eat the one in the box. So, that means our answer is 80 because 72 is smaller than 80. So we first circle our answer and then after that we write it down. Now the statement is true. The sum is correct. 72 is smaller. So our hungry crocodile is not going to eat 72 because it's too small. Instead, it will come and eat 80. So take your time on this one. Make sure you compare your numbers. And if you get stuck, don't worry. You can use our simple tip that it always eats the bigger number. Don't forget to circle before you write it in the box. Have fun, and I'll see you when you're done after the advert break.
Follow us on MyZone Facebook Active Kids to watch your daily lesson and other fun activities with Zoe and Zoshi.
Let's now move on to the next part of our lesson on page 7. On page 7, we are going to be doing a reading comprehension. Now, it's going to be our job to read the story and answer the questions below. Today, our story is all about home safety rules. Now, remember, boys and girls, every time we do a reading comprehension, we need to read it 3 times. The first time is to make sure that we understand what the story is all about. The second time is when we read it after reading our questions so that we can go and hunt for our answers. Then the third time is to make sure that we have answered each and every question and answered it correctly. You also have an option of making sure that you read more than 3 times if you want to be on the safe side. For now, let's start with the first time. We will start at the heading. Home safety rules. Keep cloth and paper away from stovetop and any open flame in your home. Never place water or oil in a hot pan. Never place a knife in a toaster. Be respectful of electricity and never touch a socket with wet hands or place appliances near or in water. Never run down the stairs with something sharp or breakable in your hands. Always point sharp objects to the floor and not at someone. Be careful when glass breaks. Call an adult to come and help you clean it up. Call for help when you are in trouble. So this is our comprehension passage, and I'm sure you have heard all the very important rules. Some of them you may not know why, so I'd like you to please go and ask your adults at home why we don't do certain things. I can tell you one now. The idea of a knife in a toaster is very bad because you can electrocute yourself, which means that you will be putting yourself in great danger. So now that we are done reading our comprehension, it's now time for our questions. Today, you are lucky. All you have to do is write yes or no. But before you write, I want us to first read the questions twice, then go back into our passage. After that, you can start answering. So for now, we are only reading. Number 1 says, should we play with fire? Should we play with fire? Number 2 says, should we play with broken glasses? Should we play with broken glasses? Number 3 says, should we call for help if in trouble? Should we call for help if in trouble? Number 4 says, should we run down the stairs? Should we run down the stairs? Number 5 says, should we touch plugs with wet hands? Should we touch plugs with wet hands? Number 6 says, should we place a knife in a toaster? Should we place a knife in a toaster? Then number 7 says, whom should you call when you are in danger? Whom should you call when you are in danger? So these are our questions, and I'd like you now, boys and girls, to go back into the passage with me so that we can try and find our answers. Remember, the first thing is to read it slowly so that you can pick up all your answers. For number 7, however, the answer is different. There, you are not going to write yes or no, but you are going to answer it with one of the words in the passage. Now, let's read the passage a second time. Home safety rules. Keep cloth and paper away from the stovetop and any open flame in your home. Never place water or oil in a hot pan. Never place a knife in the toaster. Be respectful of electricity and never touch a socket with wet hands or place appliances near or in water. Never run down the stairs with something sharp or breakable in your hands. Always point sharp objects to the floor and not at someone. Be careful when glass breaks. Call an adult to come and help you clean it up. Call for help when you are in trouble. So these are our questions that we've already read, and this is our passage. Now I'd like you to please answer, and then after that, read the passage a third time. Have fun and stay safe, boys and girls. You can actually hurt yourself when you're still at home. So follow all the home safety rules. I'll see you when you're done after the advert break.
Do you have children in the age range of 5 to 6 years and want to participate in our school booklet program? Please contact us on 081 74 3759 and we will put you on our distribution list for the attention of pre-primary schools. Topics include family, summer, culture, traditions and houses, transport and communications, occupations, autumn and more. We distribute countrywide in over 7 different languages.
Now for our lesson, boys and girls, let us go and do some mathematics on page 8. On page 8, we are going to be doing a bit of multiplication. Now, our special number today is tens. We are going to be counting in tens and multiplying with tens. So, the first part you're going to be doing by yourself because I think that's very easy. But the next one is asking us to use groups to find the answers. Now, as you can see, we have groups that have been made and each group has 10. We are going to do D together. So let's take a look at the board. Now, D is actually very simple, but we're going to break it down so that you'll be able to answer all the other ones. The first thing you notice about D is it says 5 times 10. Now, it can say 5 sets of 10. Now, if we have 5 sets of 10, that means there are 5 sets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And each of those sets have 10 things inside them. So, this one has 10, so does this one, and this one as well. And so do the last two. So instead of us counting all of them to get our answer, we're going to use a quick trick. You see, we already know how to count in tens because of our decade numbers. So what we're going to do is use those decade numbers to count and then get our answer. Now, we know that each of the groups has 10. So that means we're counting in tens, our decade numbers. The first group has 10 already. Let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if the first group has 10, and we said all the other groups have 10, we just need to add 10 more. Remember, when we are timesing or multiplying, it's the same as repeated addition. So 10 plus another 10 will give us 20. And then after that, another 10 would give us 30. If we add another 10, we will get, well done, 40. And then the last one, if we add another 10, we will get 50. So, our answer should be 50. But now, let's do it the long way so that we can check if our short way is just as good. So that means we're going to count all the dots in all the groups and put them together. We already know we have 10 here, so we're going to count on 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's our number there, and we need to count on 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. You see, our method is working. Now we count on from 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. You see, it's working. 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. So that means that our answer is correct. So now we can say 5 times 10 gives us 50. Now this way is quite long, but if you use your decade numbers like we did before, I'm sure you will still get the same answer. So take your time. If you're going to count with your decade numbers, count out loud. That way you will be very sure about your answer. Have fun, and I'll see you when you're done after the advert break.
Follow us on MyZone Facebook Active Kids to watch your daily lesson and other fun activities with Zoe and Zoshi.
For our lesson now, boys and girls, I'd like us to please turn to page 9. On page 9, we are going to be doing verbs. We are going to be using have or has. Now, it's going to be our job to first fill in the correct word by adding a or an after it. So that's the first thing I would like you to do. But before that, you need to know when you use have and when you use has. So let's take a look at the board to see when we use them. Now, when we use the word have, it is for I, you, we, or they. So we say, I have, you have, we have, they have. And then when we use the word has, it is for he, especially if it's a boy or a man and a boy or a man's name, or she, if it is a girl or a woman, or a girl or a woman's name, and then it. Now, it can be anything. It can be an animal, it can be the table, something that is not human. So we say, he has, she has, it has. Now, let's go back again. We have said, I have, you have, we have, they have. And then for has, we have he has, she has, it has. So this is what we have when we're talking about verbs, these type of verbs. Now, before that, they said that they would like us to use articles as well. Now, when we have a, it's because there is a word that starts with any of these letters here, from B all the way to Z. But if we're going to use an, then that means the word starts with either an A, an E, an I, an O, or a U. So now we're going to do one of them together, the first one, so that you understand how to use the verb and how to use the article. So the first thing we're going to do is read it without the verb or the article. He dash dash book. Now, the first thing you need to do is put in the verb. In this case, it's either have or has. How do we know which one to put? We look at the first word here, and the first word says he. And we said that he is under has. So we can write he has. That's the first part. So we have filled in our verb, but our sentence is still not complete. It says, he has dash book. Now we have to put in the article. And in this case, we look at the beginning letter for the last word, and it is a B. So if we take a good look, we can see that B is under a. So go ahead and write a so that the sentence is complete. Now our sentence says, he has a book. So take your time, boys and girls. Look at all the clues they are giving you, especially about the verbs. Don't forget that if it is have, you can use have for I, you, we, or they. But if it is he, she, or it, we use has. And then after you've written your verb, go back and write your article. Make sure you take a good look at the beginning letter so you can decide whether or not you're going to use a or an. Have fun with this one. It's a little tricky, but I know you can do it. Take your time, read out loud, and I'll see you when you're done after the advert break.
Do you have children in the age range of 5 to 6 years and want to participate in our school booklet program? Please contact us on 081 74 3759 and we will put you on our distribution list for the attention of pre-primary schools. Topics include family, summer, culture, traditions and houses, transport and communications, occupations, autumn, and more. We distribute countrywide in over 7 different languages.
Boys and girls, we have now come to the end of our lesson, and I hope you had fun. Remember, if you don't know what to do or you are confused, that's okay. You can always ask an adult for help. But make sure that you finish your work by yourself. So now that we are done with our lesson, it's time to sanitize. Remember, when we're sanitizing, we are showing the world that we care about everyone around us. Sanitizing is not just for us, but for our parents too, and everyone we come in contact with. So sanitize as regularly as possible. So now that we're done with sanitizing, I think Sashi can come and play. I thought I saw him getting into the classroom. Oh, there you are, Sashi. So, from Sashi and I, thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.
Our online school will help you along the way. Find us at www.zoshi.online and download the booklet. Follow us on Facebook to never miss a video. Subscribe to our Zoshi Telegram channel if you want to receive daily updates. Proudly sponsored by the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture, Namibian Community Trust, UNICEF, My Zone Online School, Amos Meerkat Syllabus, and Capricorn Foundation.